My name is Latricia White.
My name is Aaliyah White. We are from Oakland. I'm
Oaklanders.
18 years old, and I am currently a freshman at Sac State.
I am grown, and I am the Restorative Practices Coordinator at Richmond College Preparatory Academy in Richmond, California.
So the first question is, since the pandemic hit, what have you been doing to stay focused besides schoolwork?
Well, since the pandemic started in March, and I work in education, we've been spending a lot of time like just really trying to think of creative ways to engage students to support them in a time when we aren't together in a physical space. I feel like that's taken up a good deal of my time. Just really meeting around like what would best support students at this time. And also, like with Aaliyah graduating from high school, I think that I've spent a lot of time also helping and supporting her navigate, this first year experience in a way where she too can't be on campus and can't get the traditional feel for college.
So piggybacking off of what she just said, I graduated high school. So basically, because I can't do traditional, like festivities that you usually do when you graduate, I've been like trying to find safe ways to hang with my friends before they go out of state for college. And I've been like attending like meetings for my new school, Sac State, because we can't be on campus. So we have to find ways to, like meet up and do that first year student orientation, just engaging in school festivities. The second question is, what have you gotten out of this whole COVID situation?
What have I gotten out of this COVID situation? I think that it's allowed me to slow down and take some time to not only like think and rest and spend time with my kid. I feel like I've grown or I've watched her grow in a lot of ways, and especially with so many different situations happening in our society, whether it be not just COVID, but like even the racial tensions that are happening. It's been really awesome to be with her and to be able to process with her and to be able to like just watch her grow and mature and find her voice around a lot of really deep situations. So I think I've gotten like to grow with my kid a lot during this COVID situation.
Okay, for me, out of this whole COVID situation, some good things with that, I've got to deepen some relationships with, like, my mom and friends and family. And then I've also got to create new relationships with, like, people outside of school as well as in school. And then probably one of the bad things I've gotten out of this COVID situation is that a lot of things for me has been slow. So whether it's like school or it's like things I need besides school, like it's just been really slow and different for me.
And stressful.
Yes.
Definitely stressful.
The third question is, what are you doing to protect yourself?
So I am really trying hard to practice social distancing. I don't really go anywhere except for the grocery store or the laundromat. Or if there's like some reason that I guess I have to go out, I will. But I am really choosing to sacrifice a lot of like time with people that I love and like in honor of trying to stay safe.
For me, I haven't been, I've been out a lot, so I haven't been good at, like staying in. But when I do go out, I wear my mask. I try not to be too close to people, like, in their face. I make sure I wash my hands before I, like, put food in my mouth or my hands, anything, like that. And also, I try to make sure that my circle is small. So, like, if it's over 3 people, then I won't go. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Aaliyah has been very cautious and really tried to be safe. And I trust that when she goes out, that she is like really practicing being socially distant and safe.
Yeah, because, like for me, I'm a teenager, so I want to go out and do a lot of things, not just to be stuck in the house, but I do have to understand that she's at home and she wants to protect her safety. So when I go out, I come back, I wash my hands, I get in the shower. So, you know, I'm able to protect myself while also having fun. The fourth question is, what's been a new hobby that you've learned or you're doing while being in quarantine?
I don't think that I've learned any new hobbies per se, but I do think that this has pushed me to be way more tech savvy than I was, and to be able to operate systems that I probably didn't know how to before. And so, yeah, maybe I haven't learned any new hobbies as much as in relationship to my work. I've learned a lot of more like technical savviness.
For me, I don't really have a lot of hobbies either. I guess I've learned like how to be a little more independent when it comes to school because even though I am at home right now, like I still have to be able to look at emails and be able to remember homework on my own, just like without her being able to like, oh, did you do this, did you do that? It's college, so it's going to be very different for me. So I guess a new hobby is trying to be a little more independent. So the fifth question is, what are your thoughts on the Black Lives Matter protesting that's been happening?
My thoughts. I think that it's amazing that young people want to come together and stand up for injustice and inequities. I think it's amazing that we as a people want to like rise up and really have a movement to like protect our black men and to protect our sons against police brutality and just against the very callousness that they have for our life. And I also think that in my life, I've seen uprisings before, and I've seen folks protest before, and I've seen folks stand before, and it not be as impactful as we would have hoped. And I think that it does diminish maybe a little bit of the hope that I have, because we have been in this space before, and people have risen up against like injustices and spoken against inequities, and we are still in this space. So I think that it does somewhat make me like doubt how impactful these things can be. So I think that like that's my thoughts around it right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And also, I just want to say, like, I think this whole like Black Lives Matter movement and everything that's been going on has brought us together, and not only like black people, but like our allies. I feel like even like different parts of the world, we've all come together to like speak out against everything that's going on. One part that I would have to agree and disagree on is the looting part. Like a part of me wants to agree with that part because I feel like it's important, to like show them, take back what's ours. We've been getting things stolen from us, so we're gonna do the same thing to you. Let's see how you feel about it. But then also I have to disagree because I feel like it started to turn into something that people was losing sight on. Like people were just stealing, just doing things just to be doing them. Like people weren't even really doing it for the cause anymore. So I would have to disagree on that part.
And just to add, I think that like it's something that needs to be said, and we need to be thoughtful that like black and brown people aren't, or black people aren't the only people out there looting. You know what I mean? And that a big part of like what is happening, especially in the media and what's being shown in the media as far as like TV, social media, or whatever, is like black folks doing a lot of these things when it isn't us. And I think that it's a very blatant like attack on our character to like say, oh, like look at them tearing up this, tearing up that. And I think that it's just another systematic way to make black folks feel less than, to look like we're less than, to look like we're savages, and all of these things that for many, many, many generations and decades and centuries have been like kind of taught to us. So when like Aaliyah brings up looting, I just want her to remember that it ain't just us out there, and that a big part of like the facade that's being sold is that it is us, and that we are these savages who don't know how to come together in a peaceful manner.
So the last question is, what can you tell people that's watching you right now how to get through it and stay positive through a negative time?
I would say pray. I think that your connection with God is essential right now. I would say that it's okay not to be okay. I think that it's okay to be sad. I think it's okay to be angry. I think it's okay to not be in the most positive of moods. And that reaching out to your family, reaching out to even your church family, your friends, and keeping those connections strong is really important, because there's going to be times where you're going to need to lean on somebody. And my hope is that, by praying and continuing your relationship with God, by making sure that your relationships with family and friends are strong, that even when it's the most desolate time, when it's the worst time, when you are feeling empty or alone, that you are never alone, and that there are people, not only God, who's there for you always, but also people in the physical form who are there for you to allow you to lean on them too.
I feel like right now is a very trying time. Like for me, it's kind of hard to say what to do to stay positive because I'm not really in a positive state. But I do feel like you've made it this far, and I think you should definitely honor that. I also want to say keep family and friends or those, who are good with you right now, keep them close because you don't want to have that feeling of, oh, I wish I could have reached out to them more, or, tomorrow's not always promised. So I feel like, honor those right now who are with you. I feel like you should definitely keep your connection with God strong, and don't be afraid to reach out to people for help. Because for me, I don't reach out for help because I'm just that type of person. But don't be afraid to ask for help because sometimes just hearing from that one person could uplift you in a good way. So, yeah. Well, that concludes all the questions.